Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. So today ended up getting dishes and laundry pretty much all like caught up from the weekend. Even though I actually stayed kind of on top of it like yesterday. I actually don't think I did laundry over the weekend, but I did do dishes yesterday just because I did not want to fall behind, and with Father's Day we were doing a lot of extra cooking and baking and stuff like that. I did do dishes yesterday, but I also edited one vlog because I had one that was already edited. I think I did on Friday or something like that, and so I needed to do that just so that I was like caught up so I can upload those two for tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But my aunt, I think, is supposed to be coming over. My aunts want to get together for to talk about my cousin's wedding shower, and so but then one of my aunts couldn't come because she had like a doctor's appointment or something like that going on tomorrow. But then I don't know, like my mom didn't make it real clear if like we were going to reschedule it or we weren't going to. I don't totally know right now. But yeah, so, and like, I don't know, the house isn't totally picked up or anything, but it would be kind of cool if she comes over. We can probably just like hang out actually in the backyard, because the backyard looks so nice right now. We can sit outside just on the covered porch tomorrow and, you know, just enjoy outside. So I don't know, that might be what we end up doing. Like, I don't totally know. I don't know what we have to discuss or like how much we're gonna wind up going over. And then, like I said, on top of that too, with my other aunt not being here, like I don't know how much we are going to be able to like get stuff done or anything. But regardless, yeah, so, but the thing is that it's actually really cool outside since we got that horrible tornado that ended up touching down yesterday, like 20 minutes, a half hour away from us. It was pretty scary. From some reports, some people were saying that it could have been an F2 tornado. I don't totally know if that is true. That was like, I was looking to try and figure out like what it was. It was an actual tornado. It wasn't just like a supercell or like, thunderstorm with really bad, winds and all that kind of stuff. There was an actual tornado. It actually touched down, like I said, and it sounded like it could have been an F2. And from what I could see, and like people were actually sharing pictures of it, it was actually pretty wide. It wasn't like one of those little tiny small tornadoes. It actually was pretty, like I said, I don't know how necessarily that is all judged, but it ended up doing a lot of damage. So we were very, like I said, grateful that it ended up, missing us, but it did a lot of damage. It was so bizarre, even to the fact that like we didn't lose power. Like on top of that too, other than when the actual tornado siren was going off, we had no wind. Like me and Matthew kept checking, like while, like we got the alert, and then probably like 10 minutes later is when it actually like got windy, but it was completely like still, like there was no wind at all. Like we were looking out the back window, the front window and all that kind of stuff. There was literally nothing. So yeah, but then it was like, it got sort of windy, but it wasn't even windy enough that I think I was telling you guys too yesterday, like it didn't knock our bird feeders over. It didn't knock, like our light posts that we have for our outdoor lights that we just put up over the weekend. Like none of that stuff, got blown over, knocked over. We have a little plastic, like gardening bench sort of back behind the garage. I think the door opened, which honestly happens all the time. And I think that's why we noticed that our back motion sensor light went off, and we're like, what happened? Like what, did the fence fall over back there? Was there some animal in the backyard, like a cat that was trying to hide or something like that? Because we do have a couple strays around here. Like we were thinking it was that. I think it was actually the door blew open on the little plastic thing, but it didn't even fall over or anything like that. Like I said, we got like no wind at all. Like hardly enough to do any type of, like there wasn't leaves in the street. It wasn't, like I said, there was no branches like down from anywhere. I mean, we don't have any trees on our property, but there was no like streets with, like I said, like normally after a bad storm, like you can tell because of how many leaves have gotten blown off trees. There was none of that at all last night or this morning either, because I was like, maybe I just can't really see what's going on. And like, no, I woke up, still nothing. Like, it looked like I said, nothing had happened as of last night. So it was, like I said, really weird. And on top of that too, we had such a long period of time where there was a, you know, tornado warning, which is also so bizarre. But I do actually think, from what I saw, was that there was more than one tornado also. So I think the bigger of whatever, however many there were, because like I said, haven't gotten an actual like straight answer. It's just like, yeah, there was really bad storms that produced tornado or tornadoes. Like, even from like the actual like news, I haven't actually like heard what legitimately like happened last night, other than, again, there was a tornado, but I don't know if there was multiple, because that's what some things were saying, but then I didn't hear that from like others. I'm not totally sure where they touched down either, other than in one specific spot I know for sure, which was where I think the bigger one was. But like I said, I heard reports of like other ones that did happen, but I don't know where those were, or if there were, like, they actually touched down tornadoes. But like, you know, it was like rotating, you know, like clouds and stuff like that, which is normally what ends up producing, I guess, the tornadoes, you know. And so that's the type of stuff like to look for when you see that and it starts spinning. That's when there's probably a tornado that's going to wind up touching down. And so we actually had, a handful of years ago, 2 blocks away from us, there was like a supercell, which I think is like the start to a tornado, but it doesn't actually manifest into being a tornado, which was 2 blocks away from us. It actually happened at our park. Like I said, several years ago, but it was pretty, like, that was the most damage that we've ever really like sustained. But like, we didn't have damage on our house or anything like that at the time. I think we also didn't have any trees, so like none of our trees fell over or anything like that. But again, it was like our park. They had a football, and they had just got it that year, I think, or maybe the year prior. They had just gotten like a new football scoreboard. That thing was completely like ripped up and torn out. And like I said, there was a lot of damage done to the trees in our park, which is really sad, because it's probably one of the like most wooded parks in our area. And you know, the trees are really, really old too there. Like, the street trees on our entire street are really old. And something about too, like, I don't know, when the town was first, like when they put the street through and stuff like that too, there was like a thing about like the people that they actually bought the land from, they had to actually save the trees. Like, again, this was probably 100 years ago, maybe, something like that, because that's a lot of the houses on our street are pretty old. But like back then, I don't know, there was something about, like, because my mom has lived here for a really long time too, but there's something about like the trees, if they were going to build like a street, they had to build around the trees that were already existing and stuff like that. So like I said, the trees that are all there in the park, along with all the ones on like our parkway, and a lot of the ones in our neighborhood, are all really old trees. But like I said, that, you know, the park had a lot of damage and ended up losing a lot of trees because of it. And so they've had a lot planted since then. Like, for every one that got, you know, like torn down, they put 2 back up. But still, it's like, it's sad, because there's a lot of smaller trees instead of these really big old trees that used to be there. So that was like the worst storm that I think we've ever like been in. But it was sort of weird though too, at the same time, like, I don't remember it actually, like, I don't remember actually hearing the tornado siren going off when that happened. Like, maybe it did, but like last night, compared to last night, like, it was like almost an hour's worth of like us sitting in the hallway hoping that like it was gonna pass. But like I said, for that, it was like maybe like we heard the tornado siren, and then it was like, you know, the alerts and stuff like that were going off, but I feel like it didn't last that long. But we did lose power that time. Obviously, again, there was tons of damage that was done all around, but yeah, I don't think we had smartphones though. That is the one thing that I do really like, is that they do send like those alerts and stuff like that. Sometimes it is sort of annoying when it's like, oh, flash floods, because I'm like, I mean, I know we could still get flooding from like sewers and, you know, that kind of stuff, but like, we don't live near water or anything like that, and sometimes they're terrifying when they go off. But I get that like all the time. The tornado one is, like I said, really like useful, because then I'm like, oh, like, you know, that's probably not good, and it is so loud and obnoxious. obnoxious that it really, like, you're gonna hear it from, you know, you left your phone charging in the other room or something like that, you're gonna hear that. You know, so it is a really good alert, because like it's actually really hard to hear the tornado sirens. I saw that somebody actually had said that too, like in our community, like a Facebook group, because somebody was asking like, are those tornado sirens that I'm hearing? Because it's not that easy to hear them. It's, like I said, sort of weird. And sometimes too, when it is really windy and it's, you know, really raining and thundering and lightning and stuff like that, sometimes it is not as easy to hear it. And on top of that, if you're hard of hearing, like you might not know that it's going off at all. So that's why I think that that's actually a really great tool to have on like smartphones, is to have like, you know, severe weather notifications and stuff like that. Because like I said, it terrified us last night. Like we, all three of us jumped up in the air because we all had our phones in the living room. Like I said, my parents were asleep in their bedroom, but it woke my dad up, you know, so, and he can sleep through almost anything. So, you know, that was pretty good, like, that he ended up getting up from it. But yeah, it was pretty scary last night, but it cooled off crazy. Like it was only a high of 73 today because that cold front, you know, moved through and brought with it, you know, the tornado and all that, and that severe thunderstorm. And so like the next couple days, it's only supposed to be like in the 70s or possibly low 80s, but like we went from it being like 90s to like completely dropping down. So yeah, we've got, it's very cool weather. So again, if we want to go hang out outside tomorrow, in the, you know, the cool, you know, outdoors and stuff like that. Well, if my aunt is coming over tomorrow, because like I said, I don't totally know, but I wanted to try and get some more edited tomorrow, and if she is coming over, I don't know that I'm going to be able to finish that up, so we'll see. But I'll let you guys know tomorrow. If you guys did enjoy today's vlog, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.